I ate 570 grams of carbs a day and was the leanest and most shredded I've ever been. I eat a ton of carbs all year round and I still stay under 8% body fat. If that sounds impossible to you, it's because everything that you've been told about getting lean has the order backwards. You think that carbs are the enemy, they're not. The thing that actually keeps me shredded is what types of protein that I eat specifically and how I rank them. And in this video, we're going to cover all the best proteins. You're going to have the exact list that I have to stay sub 8% body fat with the real numbers on the screen, protein, carbs, and fat per 100 grams of each one of these types of protein. And you're going to have the 3-part filter I use to rank them. So you stop guessing at the grocery store and you start choosing like someone who actually understands the math. Here's the part that probably stings. You've been picking the wrong protein for years. You grab the chicken, the shake, the bar because somebody told you to eat high protein, but you're still soft and you're still carrying the extra 20 to 30 pounds that you don't want to. Doing everything right on paper, but the mirror never changes. So we're going to get this right, and you can eat the carbs, you can fuel your training, and stay lean at the same time. That's the whole game. My name is Nolan Ulm. I'm a pro football player for the Toronto Argonauts. I was a D1 wide receiver and 2-time team captain at Eastern Washington University, and I'm the founder of Make It Happen Coaching, where I've helped over 100 men, high performers, through this exact system. And like I said, I eat a ton of carbs, they eat a ton of carbs, and they've gotten into incredible shape, just like, as you guys can see, Austin right here, absolutely shredded after 12 weeks of getting right. And like I said, the most lean I've ever been, eating 570 grams of carbs a day. So here's where we're going to go first. I'm going to show you guys all these different types of proteins. We've got a list on the right. We got all this stuff down here. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand protein better than 95% of doctors and 99% of fitness coaches, influencers out there. And you're never going to look at chicken breasts the same way ever again. So first, let's get into this, guys. Here's the first belief that's keeping you stuck. You rank protein by one number, okay? One number. And it's whatever one ranks protein as. How many grams of protein are in it? More protein, better food, that's it. That's the whole filter that most men use. And even then, you don't even use it correctly. You don't understand how much fat is in some of these protein sources. But here we go. I'm going to show you guys how much protein is in it. Tells you almost nothing about whether the food actually keeps you lean. So here's why, to you, in plain terms, your body composition, how lean you look with your shirt off, comes down to how much protein that you get for the calories that you spend and how usable the protein is once it's inside you. So here we go. A great protein source isn't one with just the biggest number. It's a one that wins 3 different things. We're going to cover those 3 different things. I'm going to go over a couple different studies here. So here we go. As you guys have probably know, total protein is king. There's so many research studies that have shown this: 1.62 grams of kilogram per day, or otherwise known as 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight to maintain, to gain, all that sort of stuff. Now, this one is a little bit out of date, guys. They said muscle building maxes out 20 grams per meal. So there's some studies that have shown that you can get up to 60. So you don't have to worry too much about spacing your protein out now. You don't want to get all 180, 200 grams in one meal. But yes, okay. The ceiling scales the volume. So after a really good training session, guys, ramp it up to 40 from 20. Leucine flips on muscle protein synthesis. So leucine is super important. We're going to get into that. And that's super important. When we talk about animal and soy proteins, most plants score lower on that score. So here's the 3 things that make a protein elite, guys. Elite, elite, elite. Here we go. Number 1 is leanness. Okay, this is huge. The most important one, this is the most important one for staying shredded. So like I said, a lot of people get it wrong. They don't focus on the other 2, but this is huge. Leanness means how many calories do you have to spend to get your protein. If we go over here really quickly, look at this chicken breast compared to ribeye steak, right? If we look at, they have a different price, right? A chicken breast charges you very little. 75% of its calories come from protein itself. A ribeye charges you a lot. Only about 45% of those calories are protein. The rest is just fat that's hanging along. So it's the same protein, but very, very different price you're going to have to pay. So when you're trying to stay lean while eating big carbs, and you can use, like, carbs are so good. not only for fueling session, but for getting your metabolism going. They are incredible. Glycogen in your muscles, they're phenomenal. This is the filter that protects you. The leaner the source, the more room you're going to have, be able to have carbs and also be able to have fats from other sources. So that's the trade that we're going to make every single day is for carbs. Carbs are incredible. We want to always buy back as many carbs as possible. Okay, when we go to quality, how much of that protein can your body use to actually build muscle? Scientists measure this with one specific score. As you guys can see, it's down there at the bottom, DIAAS. And just think of it as like a usability grade. So like how much your body can take it and really put it to work. A researcher named Harriman, published a full breakdown of these scores. And this was back in 2020. So pretty recently. Animal proteins and soy isolate score around 1.0, basically a perfect grade. So most whole plant proteins, however, they score lower because they're missing these key amino acids. This is why BCAAs are the most stupid thing ever, because you're getting your amino acids. If you are having animal protein, those are huge. And not only are the plant proteins missing these key amino acids, but you digest maybe 10 to 20% less of them, which is a big it's a big gap, especially when you add that up day after day. So food can look like it's high protein on the label, but if the quality grade is low, your body is already going to leave some of it on the table. Like I said, 10 to 20%. Okay, the third one is density. So how much protein do you actually get in a normal size portion? So broccoli technically has protein, but you'd have to eat, a dumpster full of it to hit your number. So this is the filter that keeps the list realistic. Real food, real portions. So here's the thing. The best protein wins all three. Lean, high quality, dense enough to be practical to eat. The good but situational ones win 2 of them. Everything else wins maybe 1 or none. So here we go. We're going to rank these guys. I'm going to bring you guys down here so we can see these as we go. Okay, so egg whites. These are incredible. These are going to be your best friends, okay? At the top of the leanest source, this is it. We look at this, 0.2 grams of fat for 11 grams, 84% from protein, guys. Incredible. If we go over to white fish and cod, this is another incredible one. 87% is from protein. Calories, even leaner, the leanest of them all, right? The whiter and lighter the meat, you're gonna tattoo this on your brain for the rest of your life. The whiter and lighter the meat, the leaner it's gonna be. So that's a really easy way that you can go about this. Canned tuna, another one, incredible, 90%. Turkey breast, right? We know chicken breast. And if you cut out the fat of the that's on the chicken breast, that comes in, like we're looking at virtually nothing as well. Non-fat Greek yogurt, another one, incredible. These are top tier and the backbone of how I stay sub 8% year round, how I get the most shredded while eating 570 grams of carbs. It was these egg whites, chicken breast, right? They cost me almost nothing in calories. So I get to spend them on rice and fruit and these other carbs that are going to fuel me. So if we start to take a little bit of a step down a level, we're going to get into some of the leaner red meats here. Like I said, non-fat Greek yogurt. So just we start to get into that 60% range. So we've got, lean beef, very lean beef, still very solid, 72% though. We're starting to get a little bit lower. Now, here's the thing. The beef is going to bring more iron, zinc, and B12 than chicken does. So there needs to be a balance, guys, a balance of what you're including into what you're eating. Okay, these are going to be still super valuable, right? We look at the pork tenderloin. Once again, there's going to be nutrients and things that you're still going to want to get every single week, okay? So if we were to just come before we go to this middle level, guys, and then we've got our bottom tier, I just want to go over, right, what you guys can do, and this is going to be so huge. You're going to rank by these 3 filters. And even as we're going through these now, you can just start thinking about this now. Hit your total protein first. And then, like I said, it's ideal to spread it out. I would say 3 to 4 meals is probably your sweet spot. We'll come back to those other two in a second here. Okay. When we start to get into the middle of the pack, and here's a teaching point. If we were to go to whole eggs, guys, as opposed to egg whites, like this is where it gets really interesting. Like they dropped to 32%. So we're talking about like half of these other ones that we're looking at. Salmon was 43, right? And this isn't because they're bad, it's because the fat comes with the protein and goes along for the ride. These are really high quality, high value foods, but they're just not lean. So remember that. Like lean and high quality are two different things. They're two different things. So these, like I said, these check 2 or 3, but they're not, necessarily the greatest. Then, as you can see, we've got some of the plant proteins, right? We've got the tofu, here we go. Right here, we got lentils. We've got, you guys can see cottage cheese in there too. Good food, but these, right? When we get into the plant proteins, boom, 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 the quality now is lower. So you need a little bit more to match the quality of protein that you're getting from everything else. And then when we get to the very bottom, guys, what else should be on this list is sausage, but bacon's right there, like 27%. Ribeye, I love a good ribeye, so there's nothing wrong with sprinkling it in. You just got to realize there's a big cost that's coming along for the ride. Look at this, 541 calories, guys, for 37 grams of protein. Let's compare that to if we were to go to our golden child. I mean, we're looking at 52. So it's literally going to be 150 calories for 30 grams of protein. For this, 541. This is where a lot of people get messed up, right? 42 grams of fat compared to 37 grams of protein. Literally just a fat item. It's not even a protein at that. It's not a protein source. It's a fat source. So it just completely fails with the leanness. So when was the last time that you guys actually looked at these numbers, right? This is going to be super, super, super important for you guys to see this and just understand, like, this is the biggest thing. Okay, so when we do come, let's go back really quickly. I want to just explore quality a little bit more here. Here's the science that really makes you understand the quality filter. So there's one amino acid that when we look at it, it acts like a light switch for building muscle. And it is, what I've mentioned, leucine. So if you hit enough of it in a meal, you flip the switch on. There was a really important study that was done by the Journal of Physiology, and a guy took a protein dose that was too small to build much muscle, but then he added leucine to it. And suddenly that small amount of protein worked just as well as a full dose. So this shows that leucine is the trigger, the light switch that turns it all on. Now, I'll be straight with you because, you probably would catch me if I wasn't. The exact amount of leucine you need, people throw around, 2 to 3 grams per meal is a working number, but it's not like a law of physics. So the best estimate is that, though, 2 to 3 grams per meal. Like a high quality animal protein, though, and like I said, with all these, if we're getting them from these animal proteins, you're gonna hit that. Like the issue is when we just go all plant proteins. Here's the thing that matters more than any of it: the single biggest driver of building and keeping muscle isn't the source, it's the total protein for the day. And this is why I just want to come back to some of the actual advice I was giving you guys. This is going to be super important. Hit your total. The single biggest driver is your total for the day. They studied 1,800 people and found that gains maxed out, like I said, at that 1.6 grams per kilogram, which is about 0.8 per body weight. So hit your total, and the source doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like there's levels of nutrition, just like there's levels in a video game, and you've got to pass them first. So you've got to hit your total protein first before you worry about spreading it out. That's the truth, right? Total protein is king. That's going to be everything. I'm going to go over really quickly here 4 protein myths that are probably costing you right now. Okay. First one is that you have to eat an animal protein to build muscle. And this is false. Like I said, you just got to be aware that you're going to have to probably eat more plant protein, but it's still going to build just as much muscle and strength as animal. Animal is just easier because it's higher quality per bite, right? The second myth, guys, is more protein in one meal means more muscle, and that's false. That's false, guys. There is a ceiling like we covered, right? Now, the studies have shown it might be bigger than we thought, but it's true. Past our meal threshold, The extra is probably just going to get burned off. So make sure that you guys spread it out. Like I said, the study has shown 60 grams, which is quite a bit. But if you just have it all at one, you're really messing it all up. Okay, bacon, sausage, anything that's kind of in that category is a protein source, and it's not, guys. It's a fat source. We look at 42 versus 37 grams of protein. It's ridiculous. And then here's another one. Now, I'm a huge fan of egg whites. You guys know I am. But lean does not equal the best. Egg whites are leaner than whole eggs, but whole eggs are, the perfect protein because the yolk is loaded with quality and nutrients. And lean and best are just two different, like lean and quality, they're two different levers, right? As you guys can see, two different axes. The leanest food isn't always the best. It's just the best tool for staying lean. So just understand those things, guys, and just realize that, okay? Especially when we look at these guys, like I said, it's two different axes when we look at them. More fat, but way more nutrients, and there's a time and place for both. And in fact, there might be a time and place for both every single day. So if you are somebody who wants to get the most shredded you guys have ever been, you want to get in the best shape of your life, you want to look like Austin here, feel great, look great, have more income, impact more people as a leader, fitness is the bedrock of your personal development. And if you've been embarrassed to take your shirt off, but you're successful in business, that is embarrassing. Imagine 6 months from now that you're eating more food than you have in years, real carbs, real meals, no starving, and you're leaner than you've ever been. Like, you take your shirt off and you're excited to. You don't think twice. Your wife notices. Your buddies ask what you're doing. Their wives are starting to ask, their husbands to step up like you are right now. And you look in the mirror and you see the guy that you used to be. Except now you're built on a system and not just on willpower. And that's where the men that I coach end up. That's what happens when you stop guessing and you just have a system that works. You get real data and make decisions with that data. This is not for everybody. This is for the high performer who wants to be the best version of themselves, who wants to join another community of just dogs, of people who want to be great, of people who want to be the best dad, business leader. They want to be the best in their career, in their field, and they want to join a community of people that are on the same path as them and impacting their family tree through their fitness, then this is for you. But this is not for you if you want a quick fix, if you're half in, half out, if you're not somebody that's already successful in other areas of your life, if you're not earning over 6 figures, this is not for you. So if you recognize yourself in what I just said, come find me on Instagram. There's a link down below. You can message me on Instagram. We can talk and see if this is a good fit for you to join the community. And then if you're just ready to hop on a call and get right to it, click the link down below and you guys can book in for a call. Like I said, we do not take everybody, so we'll see if you guys are a good fit. We'll have a conversation, and if you are a good fit, we'll build out a program personally for you to get to all your goals. Please like, subscribe, comment what you guys want to see more of. I appreciate all you guys' love on the other videos. Ask me any questions. I'll make videos about them. I want to see you get shredded, and I want to see you to be the best that you can be. Like I said, to maximize your income, impact, and the man that you want to become. Make it happen. Out.